Welcome all to IGY6 Games, the gamer show that brings you a variety of entertainment and content. Bo here and here. Before I kick things off, I'd appreciate the love by you sharing and hitting those icons that need clicking. With that said, check out the social meds where I post daily and keep in touch with the followers. Now let go. Well, agents, it is 1 week away with the release of the Warlords of New York, the expansion. The first DLC drop we have to purchase, and that's everybody. Everybody has to purchase the expansion for $30. I guess 25 euros over there for y'all Europeans, but $30 in order to play this DLC. And it's just not Lower Manhattan, agents. It will affect even DC. So I'm gonna just tell you off the bat, I'm definitely buying. And if you're one of those who are on the fence or have given up but just checking in, here's what the Warlords of New York expansion DLC has in store. First, our characters have a new gear score level cap. It is brought from 500. Now you can cap out at 515. That's 515. Some of y'all may be saying 515. Damn it, I have to make more builds? Yeah, you do, and I'll get further detail later about that. But let's go with one reason you're gonna have to make new builds. You're gonna be progressing another 10 levels. The new cap level now for your character is level 40. That's 40. Now you may be saying 10 levels, I could do that one night, 2 nights if I take my time. How's that $30 worth? Well, another improvement they made is there is the infinite progression system, and in their words, this is replacing the field proficiency cash system for all players having reached level 40. Now, once you do that, it allows you to invest points into one of 4 distinct core attributes. Now you got to be thinking, what the hell is core attributes? And that leads us to Gear 2.0. With the DLC drop, we have a whole new gear system. And say goodbye to all your meta builds that you have now, because this comes with, as in their words, a lot more new exotics, new named items, and gear and brand sets. So we have a whole lot of looting to do and throwing shit together, and that's where it's going to be. That alone for me that's $15 worth, easy. Just getting to fuck with all this new shit and try to bring new metas and new interesting builds to the table. Along with all the new equipment and weapons that come along, there's the improvement on just basically knowing if your piece that drops is a decent roll. We'll have bars underneath each roll, each attribute, and it tells you in percentage wise how strong that roll is. So it's quick, easy. Oh my god, that's a god roll. Oh shit, I'm selling that. I can work with this one. Maybe I can recalibrate and make this something good. They're gonna make this a whole lot easier on agents who, like myself, would print out an Excel sheet just to get the fucking max stat rolls, and you're just looking back and forth. That's not a way to play a game. Now obviously Warlords of New York brings us a whole new map, and this time it is set in Lower Manhattan, and it's going to come with 4 named zones, and this includes 5 main missions, 8 side missions. Oh, and they want to warn you, once you do start the campaign in Lower Manhattan, you cannot return to DC until you've completed all of Warlords of New York's 5 main missions and side missions. And with those 13 missions, you're probably looking at 6, 8, 10 hours worth of gameplay. So that itself is worth another $10 for me, is right there. Now, unfortunately, Warlords of New York is not bringing us any new game modes, but I could argue that they kind of they do come with some feature new gameplay types. And let's start with, now we have seasons. And seasons are going to last 12 weeks at a time. And they'll have exclusive skill mods, exclusive apparel for all the people who like their clothes and shit. And then there's going to be something called a seasonal manhunt targets. Don't know what to think of this yet. Seasonal manhunt targets. It sounds like a big ass bounty. And probably going to be hunting down hunters? No clue. They haven't put out much information on this yet. But another thing, they are re-imaging the global events. Sorry. They are re-imaging global events. Global events are back. Now, that's what keeps people, I believe, coming back to TD1, is they always, they do the routine cycle of their global events, and it just puts a little spice on the gameplay. Speaking of spice on the gameplay, now with this drop, starting March 3rd, they are also including directives. Now, if y'all were fans of the Underground in TD1, or you weren't such a fan but you got down there and tried it, y'all know what directives are. They're essentially modifiers, and we'll be able to put up to 5 directives on missions and open world activities back in DC. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be back in New York. Who knows? But now we get to throw in modifiers to just make the monotony of the damn game. We get to spice it up and have a little fun with it. They're also introducing something called leagues. And this has to be something maybe with the scoreboards, how the scoreboards didn't work so well. So maybe now, if you have a great PvE squad, you can have a league of that where I guess you just compete with XP. And then I imagine there's going to be a Dark Zone League and the Conflict. We'll see. They are telling us that more intel will be soon to come within this following week. And lastly but not leastly, with the open world, we have Legendary and Heroic. Now, the Legendary is only for the 3 main strongholds that the game came with. You got District Union Arena, you got Capitol Building, and Roosevelt. Now we can rock those on fucking Legendary. To take as long as they do now, imagine a Legendary with the Elite Black Tusk. Sounds interesting. Definitely going to be going for that within the first week of the drop. And they have this Heroic difficulty set for the open world. So now, control points, Heroic. I mean, I know you can when you build it up. So we'll see what that's about. But all your activities out in the open world, Heroic. Open world bosses, Heroic. It's going to be quite interesting in making the game where you're not just dropping seeker mines and ignoring a group of NPCs you run by. And the last thing to touch on is they are so-called improving the DZ. And this is what the improvements include. We now only obtain XP through player-to-player interactions, extractions, and collecting on supply drops. All Dark Zones loot is now contaminated. There's no freebies. You have to extract it if you pick it up. But we now get to see the roll on our items as it's laying on the ground before we decide to pick it up. Now this VoIP will now default to open mic with the option to set it to team or turn it off in general. Okay. Currency, blah blah blah. Ability to see all players in the 100-meter radius in the social menu. Signature weapons gone. no signature weapons in DZ, removed the gray rogue status, and added one extraction zone per DZ and DC. So what do y'all think? You buying? Just straight up buying? Loyal to the game? Still on the fence? Thinking about it? Need more intel? Or are you just giving up on the game? Let me know. And as always, I say peace.